Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the IndieZone here on YouTube. My name is Kathy. There was a document that was filed in the Idaho 4 case on November 19th, 2024, which raises the question as to whether there's going to be a transition in the prosecuting attorney's office in the Idaho 4 case. It is called the amended petition for appointment of Special Assistant Attorneys General. It was filed by William W. Thompson. He is the Latah County Prosecuting Attorney, who we have quite frankly not seen or heard a lot from in the past few months. Mr. Thompson was very much present at all hearings and very vocal at all hearings and all matters while the matter was in Latah County before the change of venue to Ada County in September happened. In the early months of the prosecution of Mr. Kohberger, Mr. Thompson was heard from at almost all hearings. He was very forceful. He spoke out. He spoke on behalf of the state. Then he brought along Ashley Jennings, who, although she was there from the beginning, she then started to take more of an active role in the case. And it's really not since the matters regarding change of venue, the early matters, when the surveys that one of the defense experts was stopped on Mr. Thompson's motion temporarily. It was around that time that he started to seem to take a lot of a back seat in the case to either Ms. Jennings or to the two assistant attorney generals, Nye and Beatty, who at the last hearing that was entertained before Judge Hippler, this was oral argument on the death penalty motions. It was the two assistant attorneys general who argued against the death penalty being taken off the table, and they were very successful because, as we've reported, Judge Hippler denied all 12 of the defense's motions. Mr. Thompson was not seen or heard from at all during that last hearing. He apparently appeared via Zoom, so he was there virtually, but you didn't see him, and he didn't speak very much. Well, here he's asking for an amended petition, and it looks like there might be a transition if this is granted, possibly even further. It says here, I am the duly elected Latah County Prosecuting Attorney. I have the duty to prosecute all felony criminal actions committed in Latah County. I have sought assistance in this case in order to utilize the expertise and additional resources of the Office of the Attorney General. The Attorney General's office has agreed in writing to assist the Latah County Prosecuting Attorney's office in this matter, and that pursuant to the written agreement, the Attorney General's office agreed to pay the salaries of its personnel who assisted in the prosecution. And this is related to the original petition that was filed in Latah County and approved of by Judge John Judge back in April of 2023, when Judge authorized Ms. Beatty and Mr. Nye to appear as counsel of record in this case on behalf of the state of Idaho. If we go on to page number 2, the next two paragraphs are quite interesting. It says here, the nature of this case and its prospective duration may require the transition of assigned deputy attorneys general to meet staffing needs. Now, it's unclear if these staffing needs are back at the Attorney General's office or if these staffing needs have to do with the staffing needs of the Latah County Prosecuting Attorney in prosecuting the Kohberger case. So it says here, may require the transition. That's the area of paragraph 5 that is undefined, that is interesting here. It goes on and says, I petition this court to amend the appointment filed herein on April 24th, 2023. That's the document we just spoke about that was approved of by Judge in Latah County, to appoint the chief of the criminal law division or his designee as a special assistant attorneys general to assist in the prosecution of State versus Kohberger, so as to facilitate the prospective transition of assigned deputy attorneys general as may be appropriate. Stated the 19th of November, signed by William W. Thompson, Jr., Latah County Prosecuting Attorney. So, as Mr. Thompson seems to take more and more of a back seat in this case, where Ms. Beatty and Nye took a front seat, it looks like what may be happening is that Ms. Beatty and or Nye may be transitioning out because of the duration of this case is expected, as Mr. Thompson is stating here, and Mr. Thompson is asking to have other resources brought in. We'll have to see what Judge Hippler states, how he rules, if there's any objection before he rules by the defense. And then we'll see what happens from there. It'll be interesting for sure to see who will represent the state at any Frank's hearing if the judge grants that motion and allows that evidentiary hearing to go forward on Mr. Kohberger's behalf, or I should say, at the January 23rd and if necessary 24th oral arguments on the defense's motions to compel discovery and motions to suppress evidence. Time will tell. This will now conclude this episode of the IndieZone on YouTube. Thank you for joining us here today.